All right, so I want to go over some select stocks, mainly Twitter and Snapchat. I got a request to look at these mainly because what was it on the 8th, I believe, was when kind of Trump was deplatformed from these. I haven't looked lately if his account is back up or not on Twitter, but I mean, this isn't about that. This is about those stocks, and if the result of him being banned is why these stocks have gone down, or if the chart shows something else. So let's look at it. So Twitter issued that statement on the 8th. Here's the 8th. That was the end of the week. I don't know when exactly they did that. I know it was on the 8th. I don't know if they did it before the market opened, after the market closed. But you can definitely see a drop here, right? That drop was 6%. So, but let's look at the longer trend, okay? So let's start here because, news will affect price, but it only affects it for a few days. So it like usually if the trend is up, price will go ahead and start to resume the trend if it's up now. If there's bad news or if there's bad earnings, that's different. But if there's bad speculative news and something that's kind of emotional in response, then the trend is gonna go back up. So overall, right now, the trend on Twitter would have told you to go all in right here, right? So I have my 9, this is on the weekly, a green number closing above a prior green number above the previous week high, closing above the 9. That's a perfect entry. You would have entered here. You, like I said, this 3MA, there's a strategy on how to exit. But overall, you'd still be in. The drop for this week was 11%. That's a large move if you're looking at a stock. But let's look back to, let me go back to the weekly real quick. I'll take this off. Let's pull up the RSI to see where this was. Okay, we were a little overbought here. Indicator said, hey, right here. So we're getting a higher high. I mean, some of this stuff's simple, right? I keep on going over the same thing over and over again because these techniques work, right? So that's bearish divergence. That tells you, there's a little bit of, there could be a price drop. And then here's the old line that I had drawn because I actually was looking at an entry for this. So this is a trend line. This really isn't the greatest. At that point, it was only on this, right? That was support. After the 9, 1 to 4 candle correction going up. Look at this, 9 went up a little bit, 1 to 4 candle correction back up. So if you can look at this from here, trend, well, really from here, trend, correction, trend, correction, trend, trending up, correction. So this is not out of the ordinary as far as what's going on with Twitter. Yes, maybe that news of banning the president might have caused this drop to be a little bit more excessive than what it would have. But this was due for a pullback anyway. So if I look here, there's a 9 right here. The 9 on December 22nd. This was way before all this stuff happened, right? And then it consolidated. And then once you get a daily close below the lower of this 9, let's see what the CMF was telling us. So the CMF basically tells you the money flow in and out if there's more buyers or sellers. No, you can look at this. I talked about this last time. So here's the 9. Here, divergence in the CMF, meaning there's more sellers than buyers. You have a flat price. I'll bring that up again just so you can see it. You basically have a flat price. Bullish, yeah, there it is. Bullish divergence. Just so you can remember. Here's the cheat sheet. All right, so we had it's this one, right? Flat price, lowering indicator. flat price, lowering indicator. Bearish divergence. That's usually confirmation of a continuation down. Actually, there's one that says continuate, like it gives you if it's a continuation or not. This one. Oh, that's for hidden, but this will give you the same thing here. Where's it at? Flat. I'm looking for flat price. Flat price, down indicator. That's what we got. So that is bearish. If it's hidden, bullish, or the bearish divergence, that's a continuation of the trend. We didn't get this, right? We didn't get price declining with the indicator going up. We got flat price with indicator going down. So again, this was already setting up for a breakdown. It wasn't anything, maybe this just helped the breakdown. But we have a trend line here. Maybe if we go to the 4 hour. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, here it is. A little bit better developed on a smaller time frame. Oh, man, still not exact. I mean, maybe I would move this, right? You'd probably move it here because it's better formed. So get rid of this here. Here, 1, 2. So here's the 9. If we have a candle close below this 9, it's probably gonna, we're already on a 6 count, 7, 8, 9. We can get something that wicks down below this, and then we can get a big bounce to continue back up to here, right? So this is resistance 56. We can go higher. Let's look at the CMF if there's any buying coming in. Yes. So this is the opposite. This is bullish divergence. Indicator going up with price coming down. Right there. So it's already starting to set up. Now, is there anything else that can tell me if this is a good entry or not? My TD sequential is on a 9. My RSI, is it oversold? It is oversold. So look on the 4 hour, it's oversold. So let's look at how often this happens, right? Now my RSI is going lower, but it did it here, and we had a 9. We went how many candles? 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 can be a bottom, right? And this one here, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can go a little bit lower. I think this is going to bounce, and it's going to bounce. Could be aggressively. Maybe it gains. I say aggressively. Anything more than 5 to 8% on a regular stock, on a blue chip stock, large cap stock, is a big move. If you just understand how much money has to move in for some of these stocks to move up that much, you would really understand how big of a move that is. So yeah, no, it doesn't stay here. It doesn't stay here long. You're in an oversold area. I don't think we're going to get a bigger breakdown. There's nothing here that says we're on an 8. We'll get the 9 for tomorrow. We had a 9 here. That's going to be support. This is on a daily. That's going to be support. This was support, right? So we had a 9 and we had a 1. This is setting up for another trend. We get another 9 count. This was support, and it broke it. So my next support is my trend line right here. Do I have anything on the day? That's on the daily. Do I have anything on the 4 hour? Yeah, right here. But if it goes below this, that's a continuation of the trend, but we're already oversold. We're probably outside of the Bollinger Bands as well. Not quite. We can go a little bit lower. We already looked at CMF. The SAR is down, but that's just telling you that the trend has reversed. Let's look at the 1 hour. I don't usually like to trade on the 1 hour. Yeah, we're on a 9 here. We're already starting to get some price action going a little bit back up. CMF's going back up. I don't see anything to panic about. Would I take a position on this? I wouldn't personally take a position. I mean, can I get a potential 5 to 8% out of this? Yeah, but the positions I'm in right now are, yeah, look at this. So in the Ichimoku cloud, that's support right here. This cloud is going to have a lot of support. The wider this cloud is between the green and the red, the more support there is. You can see here it's kind of thin. Price broke above it. I said sometimes price goes back into this cross. It's about where the cross was, and it goes up. So yeah, you can look. It kind of went in the cloud. That's no trade zone until it goes back up. Yeah, so you're sitting right at a lot of support based on this. On the weekly, yeah, I mean, it could go into this cross. That'd be a large drop, but I don't see that happening right now. As far as what the central bank is doing, I know Biden had a speech tonight. I didn't watch it, but talking about more stimulus, they pump more money into the system, just like you saw earlier last year. Whenever they did it, here was the drop. They pumped money into the system, right? Uh, Fiscal and monetary policy to save the market, and it went up higher. Twitter's not even up to its all-time high. You're right here. You broke these highs again. Look, that's where support is. Yeah, I don't see this going much lower, especially with all the stimulus that's coming in. It could be a good buy. Again, we're right at this trend line. Would I enter? No. If I was looking for a 5 to 8% quick trade, maybe. But I like to look for large opportunities like in Bitcoin and like in marijuana stocks, which I still think are going to go higher. So yeah, so that's Twitter. Let's look at Snapchat, because I said that one as well. What's Snapchat? Snapchat. Or Snap. But Snap is like the workout place, right? Let's see. Snap. Simple information. Oh no, this is it. I thought Snap was like Snap Fitness or something. All right, so all right, look at this. Weekly, we're all way above all-time highs. We never got a retest here, but we had 9 green number, but prior green number, it's going higher, right? Long-term trend would have got you in May of 2020 at $16. What's the return on this? It is, let's just say it was here where it would have got you in. Right here. Oh, I'd be up over 150%. Yeah, so if you're just getting into these late to the game, I mean, you want to look at these whenever these moving averages are just starting to go up. That's where you're going to get the most optimized trade or best entry. Is whenever these longer term trends start to develop. That's when you know you're early. If you're catching it in here, it still can be a good trade, but I'm a little early, or I'm early, I'm a little early, I'm kind of midway through the trend, kind of late. So yeah, so Snapchat on the 8th. I mean, this didn't even. This actually went up on that day, so I don't see any correlation at all. There's a 9, went a little bit above it, came back down. Did this one reach the 9 exactly? It didn't. So there's there's a support area. This is a support area right here. This area is going to be a lot of support. 4 hour, 9 came back. I mean, we're on a channel support area right here. 44 did that line up with the daily? Pretty much did, between 44 and 46. That's still, a 10% drop. What do we have today? 8%, 5%. So almost a little over 13% in 2 days. Again, do I think this is because of the ban? No, because it actually went up, for 2 days and then it came down. I'm going to bring the RSI up and show you that, higher highs without a higher high on the RSI is bearish. I mean, if you've been watching me for a little while, I have my go-to stuff. It works. It's just implementing this and not getting emotional, knowing where support and resistance levels are. So once the RSI goes overbought, usually find support on the downside somewhere between 50 and 40. We're right at 40. So this could be support. This could be the only pullback until it goes higher. I don't know what it's doing in post market right now, but I mean, CMF's going up. That's fine. It's going down here, which isn't good. That could indicate more selling. It could go back here, another 10%. That would bring in, this is where it ran up, consolidated, got a bunch of buyers, and broke out. So there could be support here to potential buy the dip. Yeah, anywhere between probably 40 and 45, even though that's a big area. That's basically plus or minus 5% if you get it right in the middle. Could be an entry. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not buying Snap either. It made its run. People made their money. I'm looking at something else. So that's that. That's those. Let's look over TLRY because it had a big move, and I've been talking about this since October. Here's a perfect example of when you want to get in. Start trending up. Start allocating a little bit. You get a breakout right here. No, that was an 8. Came down. Would have told you to go all in right here at, say you caught it at the bad spot, $9. You would still be up over 100% in 4 weeks. Over the past 2 weeks, it's up, over 100%. What is that? 36 and 64. Yeah, 100%. So good trade. Post market, I know it was trading higher. The targets that I had were once it got through, once it broke this previous previous weekly high at 12.15 on 4 hour or daily. It's gonna go to 13. Once it broke 13, there was nothing stopping it from where I had 15 right here. It was 15.01, and in between there's nothing there. This is, we can look at the volume here. I don't look at the volume a lot, but you can look at the volume. Oh, this is not going to look good either. I'm going to have to zoom in a good bit. So there's low volume here. There wasn't a lot of buying, right? Look at the volume the past couple of weeks. We're reaching higher volumes than when we had whenever this thing went basically parabolic on Canada decriminalizing marijuana. We're way higher. We're getting way more interest. What do you think is going to happen whenever that MORE Act gets passed, or there's so much anticipation of it passing? I think bare minimum, whenever we were at $10, it was going to 50. These prices in a much smaller market of Canada, it went all the way up to 300. That's a big reversal. Kind of went higher, secondary high, came back down. Really no buying until here. If you got in towards the end of this last year, you pretty much caught the bottom. That's a great entry. Like I said, this looks like it's going up. We are on a little bit overbought. We got a 9 right here for today. If you wanted to, if you were in it and, had, say, 80, maybe 60 to 80% returns, you could have taken a little bit off the table in anticipation of a 1 to 4 candle correction. I'm going to put something here for resistance. This is on the 4 hour for an area for retest. We're almost getting back to the IPO price. So, hey, people who bought the IPO, you actually did better. What's the IPO price? Opened at 23. So you're under them. Sometimes it's best to wait. That's why I don't trade IPOs. There's just not enough data. Yeah, this went nice and it went, oh man, I didn't want to move that. Went parabolic, but I'm not going to chase. I'm going to wait. I was patient. 2018, 2 years, almost 3 years, waiting patiently. No, 2 years. Waiting patiently, that's fine for me. There's always another trade. So yeah, let's look at this 4 hour. So this is areas that, we had consolidation went higher. Like I said, consolidation 9, green candle above the prior, green candle above the 9. That's an entry. That worked out perfectly. Is there a 9 somewhere else? Yeah, I already put one here. So yeah, that's this. If it tends to drop, this area between say 11 and 14 will be support area. This trend line is developing. It's not really a high slope trend line, but I'll keep it on here because what's surprising is that maybe if this develops over the next year, this trend line will get extended out. But you'll be surprised whenever price starts to drop. that it finds support at these, what seem to be arbitrary lines that you draw, but price drop, finds support there. So yeah, I'll bring up the RSI real quick so you can see what I'm talking about as far as, we broke it. But this can be a momentum. At some point, this becomes, the RSI is showing you overbought and oversold areas where we can get a breakout. But once it starts to trend up, the RSI kind of changes from a indicator that gives you overbought to oversold to, it still has that information imprinted in it, but it's more of like, okay, once we break this, the momentum to carry it higher. So it's kind of like you get like 2 for 1 here. It's overbought, oversold indicator, and indication of upward momentum to drive price even higher. But we are getting high, right? We're at 87 on the RSI. Previously, it got as high as 88, 89. So we could be, we had the 9. We could open higher tomorrow and then come back down, or this would be ideal, right? So open higher tomorrow, consolidate for maybe a week, and then we have a green number closing above a prior green number, closing above the high of the 9, and then that'll carry us to this area right here, which is resistance, overhead resistance between, say, $24 and $29. Once we break through that, 40 is the next target. So wait patiently. I think this will go up. If this starts to fail, you'll see it. We'll get breakdowns. This could pull back from 18. What would that pullback be? It could pull back 20%, 30%, but that's why it's important to our 1 MA strategy. Our 1 hour 30 MA strategy works on this. This would have told you to enter back here. Yeah, maybe you didn't get it here, right? Say you got it at 9, but it's telling you to exit at right now 1438, which if you waited would still be a substantial 70% return. I didn't want to do that. But yeah, you don't have to. We can look at the 15-minute. I don't look there, but look at that. 9 exactly for the high today. More than a 1 to 4 candle pullback, but we got another 9. So that could be a secondary high. This is going to be support at 15. I would say if price closed below any of these, say 1725, maybe if it gets here, 1658, 1675. Yeah, this is where it would break down, right? A reversal candle, a low was 1723. Yeah, if it starts to get below these right here, these lows with red candles and red numbers closing below each other, you're most likely going to give up this big run of 15 and go to this area right here, which is $15. And then if that gives way, you'd go lower. But right now, trend's going up. Stay patient. We're getting more of a count. Let me bring up the other one so it's easier to see. I see this because I look at this stuff all the time. But so we have a 4. We can go 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 8 count, 9 count, and then possibly get retest. But we'll see. What's the CMF doing? Is there buying going on as prices going up? A little bit. Oh, daily looks great. We really want to break this, right? That'll give us another surge up. Yeah, we're not even near this area. We just broke on the weekly. Well, there's no data back here, but as far as this goes, yeah, we're going up. Let's go over Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin looks great. This is a hammer candle. It could be a reversal. Daily. Oh, no TD sequential. Yeah, so that was 1 to 4 candle pullback. The 9 is... I brought up the wrong one. 9 is there. We get a green candle above a prior green candle above the 9. We're going to go higher. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.